7 o'clock. We will call the town board meeting for September 15th, 2025 to order. First item on the agenda is the agenda. Patrick?
Yes, Mr. Chair, no changes or additions from staff this evening.
Board have anything?
I have nothing.
I need a motion to approve the agenda.
Move to approve the agenda.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, item 3 is approval of payment of bills. You sign off, Steve?
I did move to approve payment of the bills.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? That motion carries. All right, item 4 is the approval of the minutes from September 3rd, 2025. Anybody have any changes or corrections?
I did not.
I did not either. Move to approve the minutes of the September 3rd, 2025 meeting.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, item 5 is consent agenda item. We have 6 on there. Is the board happy with them, or you want to pull any of them?
I'm fine with them.
I'm fine too.
Hey, all right.
All right, I need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, moving on. Item 6 is old business. Township Dave, our event coordinator, is here. You want to come up to the podium? You have to just state your name and address for the record.
Hello, I am Beth Anderson. I live in Excelsior, Minnesota, but I grew up in White Bear, so I'm still one of you. So Township Day is coming up this Saturday from 2 to 8. We're hoping for good weather. We have about 26 different food vendors that will be there this year, just to give a little bit of content. Last year we had 12, so we've more than doubled, which is amazing. So we're definitely expanding our footprint. We have over 30 vendors that will be there. And this year we've also partnered with the nonprofit organization called Kids Entrepreneur Market. So it's a nonprofit that actually works with middle school age children and teaching them about business, teaching them how to sell product, how to make product, how do you market product, how do you deal with ROI of product. So just kind of a fun, different group that will be out there. They're going to have between 50 to 70 booths. So we are definitely expanding into the upper soccer fields of Polar Lakes Park, which will be fun. And then the whole center area will be filled with our touch a truck that we always have, which this year we also have the police department, the fire department, Ramsey County Sheriff's Department will be there, not only with their police cars, but they wanted to bring out some of their bigger, like emergency vehicle squad cars, because they want kids to see they're not scary. They wanted to show them that these are good people that you can go to an emergency. So they're definitely bringing out more vehicles, along with our excavators and dump trucks and all those other things that kids like as well. We actually have the same band that we had last year, so they'll be performing starting at 5 o'clock, and then the fireworks will go off at 8 o'clock. Hopefully no thunder and lightning, so they'll go off at 8. And then it wraps up. Any questions for this year?
Well, we have a brand new parking lot for it this year.
I know, I'm excited.
I think they're going to hold off on striping it till after this event, because I
good.
know we end up marking it up with stuff for your position, so.
And I can mark the grass too, if that's better for you guys than the actual pavement. It's okay. Okay.
So she can use marking paint.
Same stuff as before. Yeah, perfect.
It might help with spacing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Last year, there was a question, and it had to do with weather.
Yeah.
You're making a change this year as far as looking at weather things with other people involved in the decision process, correct?
Yep, we have, I've been dealing with the Ramsey, the Sheriff's Department. They're actually going to be on site, actually meeting with them on Thursday. We're actually going to create a emergency location spot, not only for bad weather, but just in case anything else was to arise. We have a location that at least all of the core people know that's where we go to. And then I actually am working with Care 11's meteorologist that morning. They're going to be working with me to give me more live, up-to-date weather information. My husband works for Care 11, so I definitely had a pull with that. So that way we can be in line too, just to make sure if we do need to make that weather call, that we have all the most up-to-date information to make it. And for fireworks, we don't have to make the call until 3 p.m. that day, so we do have a little bit more of a leeway. It doesn't need to, that's when they start to arrive to set up. So we just need to make that call by 3 for the fireworks if that's going to happen. Band and stuff, they start setting up that morning, so they'll already be there. So they'll be on site with us if we do need to make that weather call.
We've been so fortunate over the last 10 years, I think.
Knock on wood, Ed.
Yeah.
One more.
Don't tempt fate.
Is there going to be a kind of a stated agenda, such as typically the board chair does an introduction at some point in the daytime?
But you volunteered to do it this year, I heard.
He heard wrong.
How's that bus feel?
He knows I would if he told me to do it. I
Oh,
would be
Jesus.
more than happy to help
I
him.
would ask, I wouldn't tell.
Okay, if he asks. But you'll have that sometime in the afternoon
Probably
for,
around 4:50, 4:55, because that's right. The band goes on at 5 o'clock, and that's when the largest crowd is down there. So I feel like that makes the most appropriate time.
Yep.
So I can give you a list. I can print it out of just the sponsors we need to thank or certain people we need to thank.
it was more of a hint to make sure he's there.
Well, you could do some karaoke.
I'll pass on that also.
Just trying to get you involved, Steve.
I've been
Just
involved.
sing with the band. I heard that would be a good option for you.
Absolutely. They'd not be invited back, I'm sure, if I participated.
I want a video of that.
It won't happen.
All right,
Move on.
Any other questions of the board? No. All right, thanks, Beth.
Thanks, Thanks, you guys.
All we can do is pray for good weather.
I know.
Yes.
All right, moving on. Under old business, we have the North Oaks Joint Powers Agreement update. Patrick, you want to review this for us?
So we've had this ongoing on a couple agenda levels, both here and at our executive session, about where we are with within the process of working out the final details with the JPA. I will remind everybody here present this evening that the board here through our township attorney notified City of North Oaks, would have been May 2022, years ago, that we were giving them official notice, as was written in the JPA at that point, of 2 years, that we were seeking to terminate the existent JPA that had been in place since '99, correct, Chad?
That's right.
That's right. But also reminding everybody that we were, in good faith, going to be working through a long-term solution and a new JPA where we were going to be having new responsibilities, new service ideas, that kind of thing. We worked with our subcommittee of assigned elected officials and staff during that time diligently. Tom Watson was a representative from the city council at North Oaks. Kevin Kress is the administrator. We worked with both of them during a good 2 years on coming up with the language for a JPA. There were some open-ended issues that needed to be worked through. The board, in its good graces, extended an additional 6 months for both of the organizations to work through to get to a point where we could both bless a new JPA. Now, when we left this last officially, what we had decided to do, we had met with Chad, myself, Supervisor Ruzick had sat in for Ed at that point. I forgot why Ed was out of town, but
Me too.
it's irrelevant. It was agreed upon with both attorneys present from both the City of North Oaks and the Township, Chad, that the Board of Supervisors here for the Township's preferred options for calculating gross total of water usage specific to the City of North Oaks would be placing 12 meter pits, 4 meters to measure what was going over to the city. City of North Oaks said that was not feasible for them because of cost. If you'll recall, Mr. Ruzek, I was very clear that our supervisors are comfortable with the recommendations from our engineers as well as our public works staff, that is the meter pits and the meters being put in there would be the most accurate way to count or to compile how much water is being used over in North Oaks, and a gross number. And we asked, that being said, as the backdrop, if you have alternate plans that you would like to run by us, I'm sure the board will listen. So that kind of gets us up to date with a couple of discussions that myself and Ed had by phone and by email this last week. And I sent out to you all 3 topics that Mr. Kress, the administrator there, has proposed as options for the township to consider. And I have them there for you to discuss at this point. Ed, did I forget anything that?
Only, well, maybe Chad can emphasize this. The reason we have to account for every gallon that we pull out of the ground is because of the White Bear Lake lawsuit.
Correct.
That's correct. And when we signed off with this lawsuit, we pretty much gave them a guarantee that we will track all our water. And this is the only feasible way to do that when it's leaving the township through 12 different sites. So I was trying to express that as a main topic with the mayor of the city of North Oaks. It's not like we're trying to be hardball. It's not like we're being unreasonable. It's just we need to do this.
Yep. To get it solidified. And then Chad here has concerns about the longer we, in good faith, float this service, it's going to be implied, correct?
Yes, that's my concern.
Without a contract. So we need to tie this off sooner rather than later. And what you have in front of you, Larry and Dale, do you guys want to add anything to what it is we've just said that we left out by chance?
No, I think you covered it with the exception of these options.
Okay. So Mr. Kress gave you a little bit of background about the history of service between the 2 organizations, a couple of their hardships that they're facing, but he also added in there an option for the board to consider, and it would be looping 2 meters. Do you want to talk about that, Dale, or would you, Larry?
I think unless they're mistaken, but I can speak to it. So what they're proposing is where the, can you hear me now? I'm terrible. I don't speak loud enough.
Okay.
But they're looping, so they would start with the 2 higher use areas, and this is high level what I'm telling you because they don't have details at this point. And with those with the interconnect with a meter, and then they close off so it can't be water coming in from another, because there's a lot of loops, just multiple loops. Some are large areas connected, and some are just standalone, smaller. Or and they, like I say,
They'll explain a loop for,
Yeah.
just so it's clear.
High level.
High level.
High
What
level.
is a loop?
a loop means the water going out will come back around, or what, depending on the direction it's drawing from. You have 2 connections. Let's say it's simple, a loop connected in, and it will read the water going into the city.
So is this looping even feasible along Centerville Road?
At this point, I can't answer the question because there's a lot unanswered. And I've talked with their engineer this afternoon, early, and I had told him that I'm concerned about, not without knowing the details, feasibility done, how they would do that. And so that's kind of what was left.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of connections over the 12 connections to North Oaks, and between some of those subdivisions, there's wetlands and things. I would think it would cost more to loop on that side than it would be to just install the meters, in my opinion. Just as a high level look at it.
At a high level, I was going to ask you, realistically, how long does this process take to do a loop as they proposed?
So good questions. Supervisor.
Yes, I know.
They don't have that answer. It'd be all hypothetical. I could throw out some numbers, but I really, until they do a study to determine how long that would take and what that would look like.
It's not a quick fix.
No.
Suffice it to say, okay, that's good enough. Okay.
Well, we've been asking for 10 years what their plan B was. If they had a plan B, if we didn't supply water to them. And there's never been a solid answer to that. It's always, we're going to supply the water and they're going to make it work somehow. So without us, I know they had mentioned maybe their own water treatment plant. But for the $1 million, or that number has been tossed around to put these meter pits in, there is no other resource for water that's going to cost even close to $1 million. So with some of the discussions we've been having, I'm not sure why that number is a deterrent to get this done. Especially because you're going to have 460 homes that are affected by the water we're supplying, and those people should be the ones to burden the cost of the $1 million.
Well,
There's no sense, there would be no reason to assess the whole city for water that's only going to 460 residents.
Although that's not our issue.
Well, that's true.
That's right.
And that's their, however they want to manage their water, or money is fine. We're trying to manage our water. So we kind of need to have a resolution for this. We can't just keep going on, we could do this and we could do that 10 years down the road. We're in limbo right now.
Beth, what are you going to say?
yeah, this seems like sort of a mind-numbingly simple solution. And I feel like this is like going to the restaurant. There's only one meal on the menu. The check comes and somebody's got short arms and long pockets. Let's get this done.
Good analogy.
Yeah, well, or alligator arms, yeah.
That too.
But I mean, this is simple, and it's like something I think that other places do on a regular basis. I mean, water, your streets and stuff. This is basic, no big deal. I mean, this shouldn't be like this. This is crazy.
So, from our perspective, Chad, board, the township is the vendor.
Right.
Right? We're going to supply water theoretically. I believe our board, our staff, our consultants have all given the customer the best solution to not only providing them water long term, but providing us the opportunity to stay within the confines of the lawsuit that we are all involved in. And I would, at least from a staff position, recommend that we follow that. I believe there might be some flexibility or opportunity to work through logistics as to how this is going to be funded. But I think at the end of the day, we've been very clear since the beginning of this summer that we would like this option to go in place, the meter pits. However we get there, or however North Oaks gets there, they're going to have to come up with an idea.
Well, so far their ideas have always been long range, and that's not going to work for us.
No.
Can't wait 10, 15 years for some engineer to figure out that they can loop all that. Especially Center Road's a tough road. Like literally, there's a lot of wetlands, and I
think we have-
and they're so far. Those connections are fairly far apart with different feeds out to the residents. So
I think we've been very flexible for this for a long time, officially and unofficially. At this point, we are in a good faith relationship where we are providing them with the services that they require. But we need to start thinking about getting this tied together and either going forward or finding another option.
has anyone ever discussed lobbying the DNR to punch a municipal well? Has it even been brought up?
No.
Now, I'm sure I know what the DNR would probably say, but I mean, if you don't ask, because that would be one solution
I was
for
going to say,
them.
that sounds like a fair question to ask if you are going to meet with the city administrator and the mayor, ask that question, because they're the ones that should know the answer.
Yes.
As we sit here tonight,
Yeah,
we only hear things that they want us to hear because we're not in their inner circle.
Right.
So I think that's a fair question to ask, because again, that does not happen overnight either. The permitting process, it appears to even get a well, is long.
And plus their infrastructure, it's still not conducive to
Yes.
just popping one well and, oh, we got water now.
Yeah, I mean, they get water from multiple sources within North Oaks. They get, I believe, from Shoreview through the city of St. Paul Waterworks and private wells, plus what we give them. So they have a lot of things to deal with. I do know from past conversations that they had mentioned that they were trying to figure out if they could go through the St. Paul water source. I have no idea where they are with that. And again, it's not ours, and it's long-term. But before we're all done with this, for the people that are listening, can you tell them what a JPA means so they are clear what this is a common municipality thing?
Called a joint powers agreement, and it's allowed under statute. It's the only way municipalities can contract with each other.
And that's what this is a contract between the city of North Oaks and White Bear Township for water. And does it cover sewer too? Is it the joint JPA or not?
We have sewer, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're working on that.
Okay, so that's another part of this whole thing, but right now we're talking water. Okay,
But that's probably a whole lot easier
yeah,
hurdle to jump there.
yeah.
So
Isn't affected by the lawsuit.
I would, just to reiterate, the patience of the board so far is that we have officially notified the city 2.5 years ago, that actually beyond 2.5 years ago, almost 3 now, that we were terminating the current JPA in order to put a new one in place. We've extended that already once. We would like to wrap this up and solve the issue. I got a couple of questions for Chad. Number one, is there any legal position that the township can take in notifying the city that implied service does not hold here?
Well, I've already informed the city attorney of that. I would suggest, in fact, I'm glad you brought that up. I was going to recommend that if this is going to continue on, that the board adopt a resolution agreeing to extend, to provide water service, say for a 3 or 6 month period, and just renew it every 3 or 6 months. That way you're protected because you have a definite date by which it's a drop dead. And when I use that phrase, I should be a little more careful. You can obviously renew it if you wish, but at least you're avoiding the possibility of having an implied contract because you now have explicit terms. And those terms are good for you. I say whatever period of time the board wishes to adopt.
Are there any incentives that we could put in to make it a bit more pressing so they understand the need to get this done?
Well, I mean, I'll be blunt. How much more incentive do you need that you're going to cut the water off to your citizens? If that's not an incentive, I don't know what is.
Well, we were told also that their engineer was working on the meter pit project, getting costs together. I guess maybe we just assumed that, well, they're going to do this. Then we find out that they didn't even sign the JPA, and now they're modifying it.
Well, it feels like bad faith.
I would go that far. It's negotiation.
I think a lot of miscommunication also.
Yeah.
And too many cooks in the kitchen, I think too. So I would recommend that we have Chad draft something along those lines to string this out until we can get some type of a solution, but still saves us from the implied service going forward long term, which is I think what we all want to avoid. Ed and I were supposed to have met with the mayor as well as the administrator this last Friday. We are rescheduling that for when the mayor gets back in town next week. My recommendation to the board, and you can approach this however you like, is that Ed and I carry with what it is Chad will come up with, and we also notify them officially that your alternate has been considered and declined. Ours is still on the table if you would like to comply. How can we help you get there? What do you think about that?
Well, and putting it into their hands, they're the ones who are responsible to do this. I don't know much more help we can give them.
I don't know what else we can do.
Yeah, as far as decline goes, I think as it's stated, those what you're talking about is the 3 items that the administrator sent to you and Ed.
And we got to you today.
And us, yep, but I have it today. So instead of as is, I agree with declining it, but But it's so high level, there's no details to it, and you cannot agree to this with no details. So I agree, continue your conversation. And I agree with the resolution. I think that's the best protection, so it's not an implied situation that we can do.
Yep.
And going back to your very beginning, yes, in that conversation, you made it very clear, the timetable in that conversation with the city of North Oaks attorney, and who was it, the mayor was on the phone that day? Yeah. You know, that we gave proper notice. And it was not denied that we gave them notice, so.
And it's not like they're being obstinate. When I spoke to the mayor for over an hour, and she wants to get this done.
Yes.
Timing-wise, didn't work for her for next week because she's gone, but it's not like they're being unreasonable. I just don't think, I don't know how, they seem to be floating around on that side of of the road.
I think they've got other battles going on that just make, maybe this isn't primary concern right now.
But you sure would think it would be.
I agree with you. But I again, just want to reiterate, none of this has been sprung on anybody. We have been in good faith working through this for actually going back almost 4 years now, where we initially met with our group. And we would like to finish it off by being good partners with them.
And it's surprising, we're getting feedback from some of the residents of North Oaks, they're just hearing about it now.
Yeah.
How can that be?
I have no idea.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you. I've heard from residents that it's like, one time it's all resolved. And the next time it's, you're going to cut the water up. I mean, they're all over the place with communications. And that's not our issue. That's an internal issue.
Yep.
So.
Chad, good?
Okay.
Okay, and Ed, let's schedule something for next week.
Yeah, it'll probably be the week after because I think she's gone all next week. I'm not
Oh, I
sure.
thought it was this week she was all gone.
Or, no, yeah, I'm sorry. This week she's gone.
Okay, so we'll schedule something.
Good.
Chad will prepare something for us to have, and we'll keep working with them as we have been for several years now.
All right, any other questions of the board?
Thanks.
All right, moving on. Item 7, we have no public hearings. Item 8, tax levy reduction for 2026. Tom?
Yeah, the town has to certify its preliminary levy before the end of September here to the Ramsey County. Once we do that, we can't go above whatever is approved tonight, but we can always lower it. So the first part of that is we do have now 4 debt issues, starting with the 2019 A improvement bond, and then we have the 2020 improvement bonds and the 21 improvement bonds, and now we've got the 25 improvement bonds. All those bonds include funds that the township promised to levy property taxes for, and by statute, if we have funds available that we can dedicate towards paying those bonds off with, we can lower the debt levy. So tonight you've got before you Resolution 25-71. The town could, if we fully issued the levy on these bonds, we'd be levying just over $827,000 in taxes. However, we do have just over $146,000 available from the utility funds and from interest earnings and other funds. So we're looking to lower that debt levy by just over $146,000, which would make our debt levy on the 2026 property taxes at $681,000 even. And so I'm asking for the board to pass a resolution to lower the debt levy.
All right, Tom, I do see that they increased our state aid from $0 to $10.
Yes.
Did we have a celebration for that?
No, we couldn't afford it. It cost more than $10.
It's an improvement, though.
For the residents that don't know, we don't get any state aid.
Yes, we do. We're getting
Oh, yeah,
$10.
we get $10.
Well, how will we spend it?
And if you compare that to other cities, this is nothing.
Yeah,
It is nothing.
or the cities around us are getting millions. We get 10.
Literally.
Yep.
Yeah.
Should be based on population.
All right, Board, have any questions on this?
Tom, have we received preliminary updates from all the major items that we'd have to consider for our,
You mean from the other various contracts and
Yes.
stuff that we have? Yes. And we've gotten, the county had a finance directors meeting 2 weeks ago. And so we've gotten updated tax capacity numbers and that sort of thing. So the levy that is being proposed for the preliminary levy has the most up-to-date numbers.
perfect, I'm good.
Beth, got anything?
No.
Tom, just one question. It looks like our fund balance is just at 47.3%. Is it, it's not a required law that we have to be at 50, is it?
No.
Recommended.
It's recommended that you be right around 50 to 40% because of not receiving the tax settlement. We only receive that twice a year. We receive it in July and in December. So whatever we receive in December really is our operating cash until we get the next year's tax settlement in July. So we're using the December settlement or taxes to basically pay the bills until we get that money in July. Our policy states that we would keep 45% of the next year's operating budget as a fund balance, and then another 5% for contingencies in case we get hit with storms and storm damage that we need to clean up and stuff.
Okay, any other questions of the board?
No.
Otherwise, I need a motion to approve this resolution.
I'll make a motion to pass a resolution reducing tax levy pursuant to Minnesota statute section 475.61 labeled 25-71.
Have a second? All right, motion made second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, then the next one, Tom, is the proposed, the property tax levy?
Yes. So now we go to the tax levy, which the town residents at the annual town meeting back in March approved a preliminary levy of $7,307,500. Since that time, as we just noted, we've gotten the various contracts increases and stuff from the various other agencies that we work with. Some of the other numbers from the state and so forth we've gotten, and so we've been able to reduce that levy down to $6,990,582. Some of the things we're reducing is public works summer help from $91,000 down to $78,750. It still allows for us to have up to 7 employees, summer help employees, each working about 450 hours at a rate of $25 an hour. Typically, the summer help, because of school and stuff, they're not working the 450 hours. But we have a couple that do actually work a little bit more than that. And the hourly rates vary for the employees. Health insurance is the one increase that we don't get until late October, early November. We've increased that 12% from last year, or from this year's. And those two items basically reduced our personnel services about $20,000 from what we used in our original preliminary levy back in March. Engineering, legal, prosecution, and some of those based on past expenditure levels, including this year, we reduced that 21,000. Community development services, we reduced 6,000. Again, that's kind of based on what we've been spending. And then the sheriff's department budget, we were able to reduce $20,000 from what we originally used as they gave us their numbers for 2026. The White Bear Lake Fire budget, we got to reduce the budget quite a bit because they are only going to give us about a 0.5% increase over the 2025 budget, but it's still a significant dollar amount at $777,772. And that does include the debt payment for their new facility that we are disputing. But I do have it included in the budget. The road and bridge budget, the last couple of years, we've been budgeting $60,000 to change out the signs for, street signs for new reflectivity standards. 2025 was the last year that we were going to do that. So we've been able to reduce the budget, the $60,000 that we were budgeting down to $15,000, which is typically what we spend in a year for replacing signs. And then the park transfer to their capital improvement based on their improvements for the various parks, we were able to reduce that transfer $20,000. On the revenue side, we got our fiscal disparities number from the county, which is a revenue sharing formula on commercial property. Ours went up from 437,000 to just over 451,000. And then, as was mentioned, our state aid, back in March, we estimated 0, and we got notified from the state that we're actually going to get $10. All of that reduces our operating levy from $6,156,000 that we had in March down to $5,948,539. And then with the debt levy that we just reduced would leave us with our preliminary levy. The preliminary levy, as I said, is estimated at $6,990,582. The county now says that our tax capacity we have is just over $22,700,000, and that would give us a tax rate for 2026 of 28.798, and we'd still be the 4th lowest in Ramsey County instead of the 2nd lowest, and that's based on the final tax rates for all the other communities from 2025. So most of those communities are probably going to have some type of a tax rate, but I can't tell you for sure what those would be. And so
Everybody's going up.
yeah, everybody's probably going up. It's just a matter of how much and when, or what percentage. And so based on that, you have the resolution in front of you, 25-72, which sets our preliminary levy, the operating levy at $6,309,582, and then a debt levy of $681,000 for a total 2026 property tax levy of $6,990,582.
And again, that still gives us till December.
We have until December then to reduce the levy further through budget adjustments. The $6,990,000 will be used for the tax notices that are sent out mid to end of November, notifying residents of the different communities' budget hearings, the counties, the school districts, ours, and so forth. But that's what will be used to estimate people's taxes that they'll get, as I said, end of November, mid-November.
All right, questions from the board? I know we've been dealing with this at our exec meeting, so we're all pretty much familiar with these numbers. All right, hearing no other questions, I need a motion to approve this resolution.
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 25-72, adopting the preliminary amount to be raised by property taxes for the year of 2026.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, motion carries. Item 8C, this is the White Bear Lake School utility billing dispute. Tom or Patrick, who's going to take this one?
I think we can tag team it. We've beat this one up pretty good for the last few months. It's been in front of the Utility Commission a couple of times now. And at our last meeting with the Utility Commission, the recommendation in your resolution is what we finalized. Tom?
Yes. Basically, there was a lot of issues with the irrigation meter.
This is for Otter Lake School, correct?
This is at Otter Lake School. The irrigation meter, or what area is irrigated, is mainly the youth softball fields that are on the east side of the school there. For years, the township paid that utility bill, and because of that, there was some manual calculations that needed to be done to reduce the school district's sewer bill because that water was going through the main meter. So it would be subtracted from the school's water use and sewer usage for it. When we had staff turnover a few years ago, that manual calculation got missed. So we had some credits that had to go back. Then the irrigation meter itself malfunctioned, was replaced. It malfunctioned, had to be replaced again. So there was just a whole lot of issues going on there that made the bill come out wrong. We now have the meters all linked up so that the utility billing system should be doing the calculation to deduct the sewer and the water use from the school district's main meter and thus bill the school district the correct amount. The school district wasn't paying the bill because of these errors, so there was a bunch of penalties and everything else that were on there. As Pat stated, the Utility Commission, the school district staff, Andy, and our staff have gone back and forth on this thing for, I don't know, over a year probably. So anyways, at the last Utility Commission, the Utility Commission said basically with what we were saying the school district owes, what the school district wanted to pay, to split that difference in half, which would make the bill $44,000. And so that's what is there before you. But the other part of that, which is the resolution you have, is what the county needs in order to take the three assessments off of their property taxes and basically put it back onto the utility bill, which we would then adjust down to the $44,000.
Is that why those numbers don't add up to $44,000?
Yes, yes, that's just the part that we certified.
Yeah, no, I looked at it too.
All right, Beth, questions, comments?
I think I'd just like to say one thing after having sat in on this. should the school decide they ever want to stop paying their bill, again, I think we should enforce penalties. Just saying.
Steve?
I have no other questions.
All right, hearing no other questions or comments, I need a motion to considering the approval for this resolution.
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution 2573, removing the delinquent water, sanitary sewer, and stormwater assessments from parcel ID 1030222100002 for 2025.
I'll second that.
All right, motion's made and second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, all opposed. That motion carries. All right, the last item on our agenda is 8D. This is County Road H2 East Trail Project. Larry, you going to take that one?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair and Mr. County Board. As a part of your comprehensive plan, we have plans for trail along County Road H2 near the Otter Lake School as well, from Bald Eagle to Otter Lake Road. Back last year, we applied for a grant through the Ramsey County and were awarded half the amount of the cost of the trail, $590,000 from Ramsey County to complete that trail. We're here before you tonight to get started on the project, get started looking at getting survey completed, wetland delineation, and design services. This segment of trail will be tricky. It's a little bit challenging with utilities, wetlands, as I mentioned, driveways, right away or property available. So it's going to be tricky to design and manage. And we have in our plan before you also time in there for some community engagement to walk through options for a trail along H2. And we're looking at both sides, the north side and the south side, and we need to evaluate those. We'll survey everything and start evaluating what works the best in this area. So before you tonight is a resolution authorizing TKDA to prepare plans and specifications for the project.
Is the amount we have here, that 200,000, is that part of the 1.1 or whatever to do the trail?
Yes.
Well, basically, that's all coming out of our side of the cost?
It's part of the original estimate.
Okay,
And then they're funding half of that. So, and we're also looking at getting funding from working with the watershed district on
that must be Rice Creek, isn't it?
to look at possible drainage improvements as well along that stretch.
Right up your alley, Steve.
Yes. It is true. There's no, I mean, just so we're clear, this doesn't mean it's going to happen. This means we're just looking at what it will really take to make this happen on either the north side or the south side.
Yes, I guess I would say that, when you win a grant like this, if you encounter something that makes it more difficult or costs are escalating because of what we discover, yes, but if it falls in line, I guess I wouldn't recommend not doing it, just because you have a partnership now with Ramsey County for that amount, and they could have used that grant for something else.
I'm not trying to poo-poo it, but this was before us several years ago. Wasn't quite the same money. I mean, it was township money of about at least my mind was $750,000, and only a little bit from the county. So this is a better share and better look. So
Do we know the money's not a mirage, though, considering our political climate?
No, they're committed. I'll speak for that. With this, it was a locally led solicitation with Ramsey County, and we ended up getting funding for 2 trail projects. They have the money. wouldn't be able to,
Larry, on your cost estimate funding, I was a little confused on the way this is written, because you're talking about doing the trail from Lakeview Avenue to West Bald Eagle Avenue for 613. But yet then you talk about doing the trail all the way from Otter Lake Road to West Bald Eagle for 1 million. Why is that other number even in there?
Yes, so this estimate that you see includes an option for the north side or the south side. So the costs are different if you look on the north side, but we also have wetlands and other things.
But it doesn't say the complete trail, though. It says Lakeview to West Bald Eagle Avenue. It doesn't say from Otter Lake Road to West Bald Eagle for the north side.
There is already some sidewalk on that north side already.
But it's not up to standards or whatever we're going to do there, so. But so that 613 is to have the complete trail on the north side?
I'd have to review.
Okay, because I'm still confused. If it's $1 million to go on the south side, why aren't we doing it on the north side if it's cheaper?
I think that's going to be evaluated through this process. So if we go through in community engagement and we go through design and find there is a better option to go on the north side, we do that. There are wetlands on the north side.
Right. And I also know,
There are wetlands on the south side also.
but we also have do we have an easement issue with the road? Because I don't think the road kind of sits in the middle of the property owners too, so.
Yeah, I mean, we evaluated both sides for this estimate, but we applied for the more expensive option with the
Right.
county, and they approved that. So we'll evaluate which side we go on through the process.
So I'll ask this question now, and it may not even been thought of. I know when they did Otter Lake Road south of 4th Street along Birch Lake, they put the trail I guess it was not bituminous curb, but concrete curb right to the road edge. Curbed it. You're taking 13 feet basically, as your calculations are, and that's going to almost be in some people's property, quite a bit of property along the north side, not so much on the south side.
Yeah, that's another challenge too, is on the north side, those homes are closer.
They are close to the road, and that's why, I guess if it has to be the north side, it should at least look at that option of a curbing with the trail right up to the, because I believe that's an 8-foot trail they put on Otter Lake Road, as this would be. But things to think about.
They also did that issue on South Shore Boulevard. They had to have that break between the road and the trail. Is that mandatory? Is that negotiable, or we can?
It's preferable to have separation,
Sure.
but in challenging spots, we bring it closer to the road. See, when you bring it closer to the road, you still have mailboxes and signage that will now be in the trail. So it's not great to have it right against the road, but in some cases we have to do that.
Well, that's where they got away with it, because everything is next to the lake, so they didn't have to deal with those issues.
And that's true where I was talking about on the Birch Lake area. I think it's mailboxes it's the lakeside, so there is no mailboxes there. All the homes are on the east side of the road.
And that boulevard area is also important for snow storage as well.
Yeah.
So you have some space for the plow to push the snow and not get it onto the trail. Or do we need to be moved again?
So when we first got the number that we applied for the grant, that million whatever, this is just to do the plans and specs to finalize that number, or to make sure that number works.
This is going through the full design process and engagement and get this project out for bids.
Okay. And it's a 2027 project?
2026.
Oh, it is.
We really need to get started.
Yep.
All right.
Probably starting way back, but how was the need for this project ascertained?
Well, this has been on our comp plan for some time. And obviously, it's also a safety issue for the school. But
Okay, just curious.
it's too bad when they did the road, they couldn't have jumped ship a little bit there, and we could have handled that with the drainage problem then.
This will make several residents near there very happy too. We got a lot of citizen input on this one a couple years ago.
There's been a lot of heartburn there.
Yeah, there is, and as Ed pointed out, the center line of that road it shifts quite a bit. There's a lot from Lakeview to the lake. There's a lot more room on the south side than there is on, even actually further to the west of there. Yeah.
Well, Larry's going through the design process.
Yeah. I'll look at it.
All right, well, obviously, we're not going to get, that's the reason for this plans and specs, so we can get this narrowed down. All right, any other questions or comments? Otherwise, I need a motion to, for the professional services at TKDA.
Oh, those guys, really?
They, if they're really nice, they do it for free.
Because they like us so much.
Let's see.
Is that for resolution 2570?
Yep.
Yep.
Sounds like you're making a motion there, Beth.
Okay, I guess I, all right, I'll make a motion for resolution 2570, ordering the preparation of plans and specs for the County Road H2 East Trail Project.
Is that for not to exceed that number, Larry?
That's not to exceed, yeah.
Okay.
I'll second that.
All right, motion's been second, and all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, that motion carries. That ends our agenda items. We have open time. I see, it must be students. Here's your big chance. You can get on camera. Come on up and, no one ever takes me up on that one.
Wow.
That'd be a no? Not interested? Okay.
All right, last chance. Going once, going twice. All right, I need a motion to receive agenda materials and supplements.
So moved?
Second?
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
And I need a motion to adjourn at 7:57.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor say aye.
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 You guys got some paperwork you want to bring up, we can sign.